everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we are going to be doing a really beautiful wearable look that's a little bit of a trend at the moment. Pantone's color of the year was announced at the end of last year by now, and it is Mocha Mousse. And I think this trend lends so beautifully to makeup, so that's really nice to see. If you're new here, my name is Letitia Bishop and I've been a professional makeup artist for over 11 years now. And over the last year and a half, 2 years, I have been also focused a lot on YouTube as well as my in-person makeup jobs and clients balancing act. So today we're going to be doing a Mocha Mousse makeup look. For the Mocha Mousse look, think dreamy, moussey, soft cloud-like skin, brown, earthy tones that is so versatile for so many people to wear this. You can take it more extreme, you can take it a little bit lighter. It's really just keeping a whole monochromatic toned look of these gorgeous Mocha Mousse types of colors and picking out products from your collection or maybe inspired by some of these ones that I'm wearing today for the whole look that has the same color tones in all elements, eyes, lips, and face. I've seen my skin in the camera and it is looking exceptionally glowy and glossy, but I think that also might be to do with the lights, but it's just looking more than normal. On my skin, I have recently applied this sunscreen that I am like almost out from. It's an amazing sunscreen. It's from Isntree, and this is the Hyaluronic Acid Watery Gel Sunscreen SPF 50 PA+++. And it's a fantastic sunscreen. Everything will be linked down below, but this is not the texture that we are aiming for today. We're aiming for a little bit more of a blur, soft, dreamy, cloud-like baby skin. And funny enough, when I was kind of writing my notes for this makeup look, I was sitting in Soho House the other day and there was a baby right next to me. And I was like getting inspiration from the baby's skin. And we all think of like, oh, we want bouncy, beautiful baby skin, don't we? And when you look at a baby, their skin isn't glowing. It's not glowy and shiny like this. It has this soft blur focus, obviously a ton of collagen, which we are lacking. And yeah, it's not shiny skin. It's perfected, it's smooth, it's soft, but it's not shiny. So that's what we are aiming for today. And so the product I've just put on to help us achieve that is from Shiseido. And I've pulled this actually out of my professional kit. It's something that I use on my clients when I can see that their skin will need this extra blur and reduction of texture. This is the Synchro Skin Soft Blurring Primer. Really nice one. It's, yeah, gives you that blur, but it's not overly blurring and doesn't create too many pilling issues. Something you want to think about when you are creating a more satin finish, a more matte finish foundation base on the skin is you do want to make sure you prep the skin really well. So today I'm using, this foundation is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter Foundation, and this is like a pretty much a satin full coverage type of foundation. So when you're not using a glowy product that has really blurred down, dries quite quickly, that primer, and a nice like velvety texture to the skin when I touch it, really beautiful. Yeah, so you want to prep your skin really well because these foundations aren't exactly super hydrating and glowy, but you can always alter foundations a little bit with what kind of products you're using underneath them. And you could use a more glowy primer underneath if you felt like you needed more hydration underneath, or just you can alter it a little bit by how you layer your products. So I'm going to go in with the brush that this came with. This is the, I don't know, it's rubbed off. And I'm going to start by buffing it in the center. Patting where we want coverage in the center. I always go across my eyelids because they are exceptionally thin and veiny, but you may not need to. Really thin layer under the eyes, almost nothing, because you don't want to put too many product in areas where we get quite crepey and wrinkly. Okay, so foundation is blended. I spent a fair bit of time blending that in. It is quite a full coverage foundation and doesn't have a lot of forgiveness if it's not blended in nicely. And yeah, it's given a soft satin finish to the skin. Not sure. Maybe it's a little bit yellow. This shade, what shade is this one? This one's shade 3, neutral. Once I do the rest of the makeup, everything will be fine. Just watch. So those are the like layered base products to finish off the base and have this blur soft cloud-like image of skin. We will be doing the final touches towards the end. Now let's get started on the eye portion. I actually just did my brows off camera because I just want to not make this video all that long. So there is so many videos on my channel of me doing my brows. Like there's a full breakdown of just brows as well on the channel last year. For the eyeshadow palette, we are going to be using this incredibly stunning eyeshadow palette from Florasis. I have been sent quite a lot of their products. Have a look at that. I hope the camera is focusing on this. It's insanely beautiful. The printing, the embossing, it's so 3D. And these are about $59 US. So, you know, I think the way it looks and everything and the packaging, you could imagine it to be a little bit more expensive, but it's actually not that bad. And just the tones, I felt very Mocha Mousse, chocolatey brown tones. So that's what we're going to go with. I'm going to pick up a fluffy brush and I'm going to go in with a color that I find to be the most cool toned. I think the Mocha Mousse I'm trying to go for is not too warm. Still probably will come out warm, but not too warm. If that makes any sense to you. A little bit more icy and creamy and scrumptious, you know. So I'm taking that color there, the third one from the right side, put this in my crease to add depth and dimension to my eyes. Bit of like windscreen wiper motion, and then as you come to the outer part, bring it like up and out a bit more. So very pretty shade. That is quite a neutral brown in my opinion. Then I grab a fluffier brush and doesn't really have much on it and buff out that edge. Also, let me know what you think of my hair today. It's just my hair. It's just me. I didn't do too much to it. I've kept it quite natural in its shape. So I'm just going to build that color up a bit because nothing ever shows up on camera as much as it does in real life. I'm just going to do the other side. Taking a small detail smudger fluffy brush and going in with that same shade from the palette, and as I like to say, I'm going to bring it around the corner of the eye look. I always think when I see women, when I see different eye looks, There's a couple where it suits not to have, but most of the time things can look a lot more polished and professionally done when you bring it around the bottom with a fluffy, not fluffy, but detailed fluffy brush, and just build up the depth on the outer corner more and sliding into less. Now for eyeliner, a little bit of a twist. We are going to use the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Endless Cacao because it has that kind of like chocolatey food mocha vibe to it, and so does the color. This is it's a lip liner, but it's a super viral color, but it is called Artist Color Pencil, so I do think that you're allowed to use them anywhere, and this is makeup and we are going to. So that is the shade. It is a very chocolate cool tone brown, and a lot of people love to use it on the lips to really contour and sculpt the lips and create shadow on the lips. I haven't got it to really be that successful for me and my coloring. It looks super grey on me. So anyway, I'm going to use it as a simple eyeliner today, just to add a little bit of depth on the outer corner. Bringing it in ever so slightly, and just not like a super liner look, but just a blur. Just blur that on, and then I'm going to take that brush that I used underneath and just buff the edges of that liner. Just a bit of intensity around the lashes, but really soft as well. Okay, soft definition, going back over it a little bit with this brush. Just we want everything really blurred out. I want to add a little shimmer, add a little like glossy iciness to this Mocha Mousse eye. And this palette from Florasis does have a shimmer involved in it, this one here. But it's beautiful in this palette and the way that it looks, but for me it's a little bit too golden and I just want something a little bit more crisp. So I'm going to go in with this Anastasia Beverly Hills Spice palette that I so love. And I'm going to take the pink shade here, the icy pink type of shade. It's got pink, but it also has silvery reflex to it, like white reflex that I can see to it. And these shimmers on here are just super impactful and I love them. And I'm going in with my finger because that's the best way. You could even like tap your finger. Best way to get payoff, best way to get your shimmers on the eyelid, as opposed to a brush where it just fluffs everywhere and doesn't stick. Can you see that? Delicious. They are so velvety when you put your finger in them. I've talked about this palette a little bit on the channel. Comment down below if you've actually tried it. Also comment down below what type of eye do you like? Do you prefer matte, full matte looks, or do you prefer a hybrid or all shimmer? I would be interested to see the ratio and like what people are vibing with. I'm going to just grab that fluffy brush and not like buff it out, but just slightly touch the edges of that shimmer. Just we don't want any harsh stamping kind of lines as to like what we did with the finger. We do want it to look slightly hovered in. I think we should put a little bit on the lower lash line as well. So I'm going to grab this really small brush, and for this I'm going to pick it up with the brush just because it's quite detailed area. Tap it off just on the center. just to give a little bit of intrigue to the eyes. Just grab that brush. Now we need to curl the lashes and do mascara to finish off the eye look. Today's mascara is one that I am still trying out since my last video. This is the Pink Flash Oil Proof Mascara that I got from YesStyle. I just like to every now and then check which ones are, you know, ranking high on different retailers and try them out. And so far I've enjoyed this one, but it is still winter here in Hong Kong. Summer is the true test. But I find this one really black, very, very matte black. Separates the lashes quite nice. This is a plastic type of brush and gives length to the lashes. Not a lot of volume, but definitely nice length and separation and just insane black. I know that's silly, like almost most mascaras are black. This one is just... That is the mascara gun. Will be linked down below as well. Very inexpensive. I did get a few little bits on my brow bone, so I just take a spoolie and scrape them off after they've dried down a bit. How nice is that shimmer from the Natasha Denona palette? It's just really unique shimmer in that palette. These ones, they are just so beautiful. Such a nice palette. Great size and shape. No nonsense. Just has good colors. Can't recommend this enough. Now let's move on to the lips, and then we'll come back and do the base and the bronzer and everything like that, because the lips are also quite a star of this Mocha Mousse look. So this lip is going to help pull it all together, and I have two products for it. This is a NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in the shade Dance Fever. Generally, I think I got this on some Sephora points thing, or birthday rewards, something from Sephora, and this color is just too dark for me as like an all over, but I'm using it as a lip liner with this gloss, and it's just giving Mocha Mousse. So I'm going to line my lips with it. It's quite creamy and matte, but soft and creamy, so you can really like blend it and massage it into the lips to create a blurred cloud effect of your liner. In the center, roll over the edge. Could even go in with a little bit of that Endless Cacao. I think it would lean well with this and just create a shadow. Layering things is really nice to create depth. I'm going to add a bit more of this on the edges, on the actual, like, all of the lips. Pat it in. These pencils are so nice from NARS. I have a couple of the red ones. Really comfortable to wear. They're not hydrating, but they're not horrendous, and they're not fully setting as in a liquid lipstick, but they are so thin and offer so much pigment that you feel like there's nothing on your lips. They're so weightless and like a cloud. Okay, we've got like a moussey blended vibe there. Now for the icing on the cake, the shiny sugary part of the dessert. This is the Huda Beauty Folks Filler Lip Gloss in the shade Ooh Baby. This is like from the purple range, the new purple powder that she brought out. I don't love this shade, but this is a blurring, full plump kind of, that was some of the marketing words. This shade is not nice by itself, but I think it's really good with this lip base. You need a base underneath this color to get it to look nice and healthy on the lips. Otherwise it looks too milky by itself on the lips. It needs to be over a lipstick. So it's perfect for this because it's that milky, creamy vibe. So I just knew this would be the one for this lip. In terms of the product, the applicator is really nice. It's a nice product. It's just the color. There we go. Really make sure you get your gloss right to the top of your lips so you have a light reflecting from the top of your Cupid's bow to help you get like a fuller lip look. So that is the Mocha Lips complete. So we've done eyes and lips, and now let's do the rest of the face. I'm using the Hourglass concealer. I always wait till after I finished my eyes to do concealer, just in case there is any fallout and we need to clean it up. It's a lot easier. So I'm coming to do the rest of the base of my makeup, the color cut part of the base and the complexion. So I want to get my concealer done so then it doesn't sit on top of those kind of the blush and the bronzer and things like that. So I'm going to use this brush, the end of the brush. I often use my fingers, but I like this as well. Patting, always patting, not that much swiping. We want to maintain coverage. Okay, concealer is setting, it's done. Now we're going to do bronzer and blush. Very much so more bronzer for this Mocha Mousse makeup look. We're keeping it monochromatic. It's not about the pink blush. Let's try this one. It's in the palette. This center one is very bronzy, blushy. I don't know if it's an eyeshadow or what. I tried to look on the website to see if they like describe what this center one is for, but it's a powder. And I'm going to use it as my bronzer blush. So we're going to be using the bronzer as a blush, essentially. We still need to warm up the face and add a bit of shape. Okay, I think it's just going to use it very sparingly in bronzer parts because it might be a little bit red. Undertone. I'm not sure how it's kind of showing on camera. But on the cheeks it's really nice. Very nice on the cheeks. I'm not sure about it on my nose. Often I put bronzer on my nose, but this I guess is not really a bronzer and it does look a little bit like I have a cold. So if you want to reduce the colour, you can take your foundation brush and just massage over it with what's left on the brush and it knocks it back. Maybe not 100%, but just enough. And you can do that in other areas like the forehead. Really want to make sure it's blended there because I'm not in love with the colour in that area. Okay, that's dulled it down a bit. So always keep your, or it could be your beauty blender. More challenging if you use your hands, but I do love to use hands. I'm going to check to see if you can actually see this. But in person, it looks nice. So I just checked everything on the camera. It's looking good. Doesn't look that, still can't see this as much as in person. as on camera, so I'm just going to add another layer just so you guys can see it a little bit more. But my skin is still looking so glowy on the camera. I can assure you it's not really that glowy in person. I am filming in higher quality now though, and they are big files, I can tell you. But I think it's worth it. Hopefully. Let me know if you've noticed. Patting in any creases before you set. So for a little icy kind of vibe on the cheek, I want to use this Dior eyeshadow that I have in my kit. And it is a very intense color, but I promise you it doesn't come off like that when you put it on. And even so much so that I think I don't love this formula. I think the hype of this product is too much for what it is. It's not really worth it in price, I don't think, but the color is very unique and fun, but it gets like a film on the top. So if you ever have any products that kind of don't, you're putting your brush in, there's still a lot left, and you're putting your brush in and doing it, and you're like, it's not working, it's not giving me any color. Take a tissue and really try to buff off the top layer of the product. I know it's wasteful, but it's better than like throwing out the entire product because you thought it wasn't giving you much color. And often it's just like the oils from our skin when we go it kind of, the oils kind of get on it and it creates like a film on the top, and you can't like get the most out of the product. So okay, we've buffed off a layer, and I'm going to use this just on the apples of my cheeks, not so much in the like up and out motion as what we did with the like bronzy type blush. This is going to be more of like a pop at the front. Nice. Okay, I have to do a lot more so you can see it at home. Oh, so happy, I like that. It is a nice blush when the film is not on it. Now we're blushing quite a lot. It's not meant to be a full blush look. Blush. So that's the Dior Rosy Glow in the shade 001 Pink. There we go. But it does help create that blur look to the face. I think that layering blushes, like having two, it really gives that blur. I see that. I hope you do. Gorgeous. So the final icing on our Mocha Mousse cake is the finishing powder, the setting powder, how we are going to lock it all in and create the texture of blur mousse-like effect. Now you're going to want a really good quality powder that's a really fine milled powder to avoid not looking cakey. And the Huda Beauty powder is perfect. It's beautiful. It gives that set blur effect to the skin that is kind of getting more popular. So many more products coming out at the moment, all talking about blurring the skin and giving you that like in real life filter effect. Oh, I love this product. It just has such a nice smell to it, like a real makeup sweet smell, like dessert, like we are trying to create. Okay, so I've been smiling. Before you set, always blend out any wrinkles, any creases that are happening in your problematic areas, because what you set will stay, and we do not want to set the wrinkles in place, preferably. To get a full-on powder effect, I'm using a triangle puff and loading this up. And then we're going to press that into the skin where we want to blur. Press it under the eyes, around the nose, on the chin, and on the center of the forehead. And I've just done one side, so I want to show you what this does, and also brightens the under eyes. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a fluffy brush and dust that away. come in and have a look on either side. That is the side that is not set. Nice and glowy, but not what we are aiming for today. We are trying to do that mousse cloud skin. It looks like that in person, but you should be able to see the difference, nonetheless, the reduction of shine happening opposed to that side. This powder is really the one. There's a few different shades. The shade that I'm using is Cupcake. It's a really great one. Also, Cherry Blossom is a great brightening one. So let me do the other side. It's just a nice experience to use as well. The smell. It goes down pretty quick, the smell, don't worry, it doesn't last if it's not your thing. And dust off the excess, and we are blurred. So that is the look complete. I loved how blurry, soft, and wearable this look has become. Definitely it's a trend of the Pantone color, but it's, I think, would last for many years to come. It's not too extravagant in either direction. So wearable for many girls, many complexions, and yeah, that is the look. Let me know down in the comments, would you wear this look? I would be interested to know if you're going to recreate this look. And if you do recreate it, I notice a lot of you guys start to follow me over on my Instagram, so thank you so much for that. And if you do recreate it, please tag me in your Instagram story or your post. I would love to see them and say hi and see how you went on with recreating this look at home. So that is it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see all my new tutorials like this and my beauty travel videos where I take you guys shopping in new cities. There's always so much happening on the channel, and I will see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching this far, and you're a legend. And I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye.